What's going on, guys? I am driving on the highway here and I thought I'd come back for another quick video. It's been a while since I've posted. And real quick, I just want to say the whole goal of this channel is just to kind of give you guys ideas and advice and just things that I've learned from my own life experience. Not things that I've read in books or things that I've heard from other people. Things that I'm actually doing in my own life that are working for me. So, if this is your first time watching my channel, my name's Cade. I'm I do general construction in Central Washington. I am also an avid researcher. I am a truth seeker, and I love studying, I guess, more esoteric information that gets into questioning what you've been told, questioning the whole narrative, questioning reality. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of my keys to health. So the interesting thing about health is if you start researching health, you find out a lot of the things you've been told are wrong. The standard American diet is basically a recipe for death. And there's a lot of different arguments out there. Some people say you should be full-blown carnivore. Some people say you should be full-blown fruitarian. There's all these extreme views out there. But for me, I kind of try to, I go the middle ground. I don't try to get too extreme because I know if I do an extreme diet, it's going to be harder for me to stick to it. So here I want to give you guys just some keys that I use for health, and these keys are good for anyone, pretty much anyone, unless you're completely poverty stricken. These keys should be able to work for you, and they should eliminate a lot of people's excuses as far as things that they can be doing to get healthier. So here's key number 1. Limit top water. Try to not consume top water, or consume as little top water as possible. Top water is laden with all types of poisons, fluoride, chlorine, traces of pharmaceutical chemicals, especially if you're living in a big city. So you really do not want to be drinking top water. So what do I do? How do I avoid drinking top water? Well, there's a local grocery store in my town that sells 5-gallon jugs of water, and they're the number 7 plastic. I know it's not good to drink out of plastic, but apparently number 7 plastic is pretty much the best you can get. It's kind of like glass. So I have 3 5-gallon jugs. That's 15 gallons of water, and that feeds my family and I for a week. I fill it up on the weekend before work, and then the next weekend I just refill them. And what kind of got me thinking about giving this video to you guys is the checker at the grocery store always sees me come in to fill my water, and he was asking about it. And I just told him, you know, this is what I drink. I work outside, so I drink a lot of water. And when you drink as much water as I do, and as much as my family does, you don't want to be drinking top water because you're just intaking all that fluoride, all those poisons, all those chemicals. So I get reverse osmosis water at my local grocery store. Your Fred Meyer, Kroger sells it, Safeway sells it. You can just go and refill your bottles. It's about, 40-50 cents a gallon. I know some people might argue, that gets expensive. Big deal, whatever. You're investing in your health. I think you can afford a 50-cent gallon to avoid drinking top water. So that's key number 1. Limit your consumption of top water. And I get it. Top water is hard to avoid. You shower in it, you end up drinking it if you want to get a coffee somewhere. That's okay. Just try to limit as much as you can your intake of top water. It's going to help decalcify your pineal gland, and it's just going to help you be a lot more healthy. So key number 1, get you some reverse osmosis water. Get some of those 5-gallon jugs if you can find them, and just try to avoid top water. Okay, that brings us to key number 2. Avoid GMO foods. A lot of the foods I buy have this nice convenient little label. It's the Non-GMO Project. And when I go to the grocery store, I have kind of a radar for that stuff. I'm just looking for non-GMO foods. And I know I get it, some of the things aren't labeled, But just as best you can, try to avoid non-GMO foods, because GMO corn, GMO soy, all these GMO foods, they're just not good for you. And one of the reasons why they're not good for you is because they're heavily treated with pesticides. That's one of the big reasons. And that brings me to key number 3. Try to buy organic when possible. And on top of that, try to buy local when possible. Try to go to your farmer's market. And I know it's expensive, I get it, but you got to get to the point where you realize that you want to feed your body the best thing possible. You want to love yourself. You want to treat yourself with care. And one of the ways you take care of yourself is you try to avoid ingesting as many pesticides as possible. Try to avoid ingesting these GMO foods, all these terrible foods. And I get it. It's sometimes hard to avoid them. If you go to a restaurant, you don't know what's in there. So sometimes you just got to give yourself a pass. But I'm just saying, most of the time, if you can, try to avoid GMO foods and try to buy organic food whenever possible. Organic is really not that expensive. And some people argue that the organic labels are BS, but I don't know. At some point, you just got to take a leap of faith and do the best you can, because a lot of the stuff we eat, a lot of the stuff we do is honestly not that healthy. That's one of the things you realize if you start studying health. So key number 4, and this is a new one for me. My fiance actually pointed this out to me. You want to watch the oils that you intake. You want to avoid canola oil. You want to avoid vegetable oil. You want to avoid soybean oil. And why do you want to avoid these? These oils are highly processed, and I've heard that they're processed at a very high heat. So it produces a lot of free radicals in these oils. So when you're ingesting these free radicals in these oils, it's carcinogenic for your body. It's toxic because just how they're processed, it just creates a lot of toxins. So with that being said, the good oils you want to use are olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. Those are some good oils. You want to avoid vegetable oil, soybean oil, and just avoid those because highly processed. So avoid tap water. And how do you do that? Get reverse osmosis water. That's what I do. Some people say you should drink distilled water, but the purpose of this video is just to use broad strokes and just try to give people easy tips that they can use, because everyone I know can take advantage of these tips. Everyone I know can get the reverse osmosis water. Everyone I know can afford to buy organic once in a while. Everyone I know can use their pair of eyes and watch for the non-GMO label, because you want to avoid GMO foods. So there you have it, guys. Just a few little tips on just being healthy. Obviously exercise, obviously, just use common sense, but the purpose of this video is just to kind of give you guys a few things that I do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I have the most healthy diet, but those are just a few of the things I do that help me out and help my family out. I really don't give my little 14-month-old son anything unless it's organic. I really avoid giving him non-GMOs, and I definitely don't give him any tap water. So I'm just passing this on to you guys. Hopefully this helps someone out there, and I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you on the next one.